This was our vision. You know, and you just have to ignore the outsiders because there's no way for them to understand until you show them. Once you prove it, then they're your biggest fans.
Oh yeah.
Or your biggest haters. You never know.
Yeah.
But but you gotta show them because it's not their business, it's yours. So just do that shit. People understand eventually.
Most these sheep will move like clones. That's why I be on my own. My mama thought tats were a joke, but Miss Jackie told me I'm dope. Yeah, I'm dope. Damn right, I'm dope. Miss Jackie told me
Today, welcome. Today, I'm tattooing Clinton, government name, Clint Gray, one of the co-owners and founders of Slim and Husky's Pizzeria. And if you haven't heard of it, I don't know what Rocky went under, but they have been blowing up for years now, and they make amazing pizzas, and they do a ton of community work, and they are Nashvillians, like those rare ones. So, you know, Clint, say what's up to everybody.
What up, what up, what up?
Thank you for coming back. You know, me and Clint have been doing tattoos for a while. This is not our first rodeo. But we're starting on this back piece today that is, like his other tattoos, Black Power defined. Okay, that's what we do on my brother here. But can you tell everybody a little bit about, you know, your concept for this design that I'm working on right now? We're doing Malcolm today.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, myself as well as my partners, the people I surround myself with in life are on a mission to, you know, push and educate about Black economics, you know, development within our own neighborhoods, sparked by, you know, our own passion and, you know, creating our communities to be self-sufficient and exposing youth to, you know, what power truly is, you know, ownership. And one of my favorite rappers, who Nas, who you know, Alicia, but has tatted the Illmatic on my, you know, on my body already. The Illmatic album. He said that, you know, they asked him like, what's power? And he stated that freedom is power. And, you know, I strive in my life to live freely. You know, a lot of times because, you know, I don't want anything holding me back. I have visions.
Yeah.
I have, you know, dreams, things I want to do, and I don't want to be tied down to, you know, what the world's expectations of me should be, or the pressures, expectations of me should be. So, you know, this concept is really, you know, a vision of mine where I wanted to have my own Mount Rushmore, you know, defined by some of the men I feel like saw life similar as I did. And so, you know, we're gonna do Garvey, we're gonna do Huey, we're gonna do Neighborhood Nip, and we're also gonna do X. But I have a love for skeletons too. You know, I don't know why, but you know, I've, you know, just seeing death, you know, in my lifetime. I had a lot of friends that died when I was young, and you know, just being around family as they, you know, pass through life and make that transition. I always had a love for skulls, and we're gonna do this concept instead of just doing their faces. We're gonna do this concept, and their faces will be skulls, but you'll still be able to see their persona, you know, through the life that Alicia pumps through the text. So yeah, I'm excited about it, and that's kind of the concept behind the vision.
And you know, when he came to me with this concept, I was like, what? Yes, immediately. And just to say, you know, with the whole skulls thing, I don't know why people are so afraid of skulls. There's some, we all have one. You know, all of us have skeletons. It's just a normal part of human anatomy. It's not anything to be scared of, you know, except for people, you know, continuing to harbor a fear of a natural thing, which is also death. And it's, you know, a part of life. It's all part of that circle and cycle. And all these black, you know, men and leaders that you're getting, you know, honoring with this piece, they, you know, they are past. So you know, they got skulls in them. So I feel like it's a good concept that comes together really well, and I'm excited about it. I always like to do Black Power pieces, and when we talk about some of his other tattoos, you all will see that this has been a journey, you know, since day one, just speaking truth into the art that he adorns his body with. But I want to go back to something that you said earlier about the world's perception of what you should be and being stuck in a box. And let's talk about that box, because I have also been, you know, fighting against what they think that a black woman that looks like me should be and should do in life, you know. So it's difficult, and I've gotten a lot of pushback both from inside the community and outside of the community. How do you deal with, you know, pushback? Like when you started Slim and Huskies with your friends, like it's a pizza joint, you know, like the normal black business model is chicken wing shack, you know, a barber shop, beauty salon, and things like that. How did you convince people to believe into that, you know, dream of something different and outside of that norm?
Well, you know, when we first opened Slim and Huskies, you know, our peers, even some of our mentors at the time, told us we were crazy for opening up, you know, where our location was on, you know, 911 Buchanan Street. And so, you know, we just have a passion within us that, you know, it's all about, you know, creating wealth and just building our own communities and not waiting for other people to do so or looking for handouts. Mm-hmm. And so when we sold our first business, the green truck moving and storage, which we built on our own, you know, we had some cash. We had the ability to go out and open up a new business anywhere in the city we wanted to. We could have went to 12 South area. We could have went to the East Side 5 Points area that, you know, was very popular back then.
Gets catered to the gentrifying kind of customer or the people that's not the
absolutely
north. Yeah.
We looked at West End. I mean, we were all over the city, and nothing just felt genuine. Nothing felt like we were going to be spending or investing these dollars that we had made, you know, and feel good about it, right? Like,
right.
You hit on the head. We are natives. We remember when Buchanan Street was, you know, a street that had multiple black businesses on there that were thriving. I remember, you know, as a kid, working with my dad in North Nashville, and he had a landscaping company, he still does, and a lot of his yards that he worked on were in North Nashville, up and down Buchanan Street, and like waking up, you know, getting ready to go to work with him, dropping off our family's clothes at the black-owned dry cleaners, you know, right next to where some original Summer Huskies is located.
Yeah, sign's still up there. I see it.
I remember, you know, just eating at different restaurants up and down the street, and post office being there, to be in a Save-A-Lot grocery store, like things that the community could spend their money on. So, you know, we didn't really care about what people thought and like how we should, you know, the moves that we should make, because everything was just driven by, you know, the passion within us to build up our own communities. And we just knew that, like, if we're going to spend our money, we're going to spend it where our people need it.
Exactly.
And, you know, I think that the authenticity behind what we were trying to do is one of the main reasons now why people respect our brand, love our brand, pushed our brand through the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? Because it was never really about us just being like anybody else.
Right.
We created something that nobody had ever seen before with the a mission that was very rare, and so it worked. And, just if I keeping it real, I would say it works.
I mean, when you stay authentic and stay true, people can see that because the world's full of fakeness all day, every day. I mean, don't get me started on the fakeness of so many different things that we hold to be these truths. But I like how you said that those advisors, those people that you looked up to, business mentors, everything, said it was crazy to invest back into your own community and into your own people. Like, that mindset is just ridiculously prevalent throughout the business world and in a capitalist society. Why do you think that is? Especially seeing as how Black people produce so much money and generate so much income for so many industries.
Well, I think that, over the years, let me say this. I think first, I study Dr. Claude Anderson a lot. His book, Black Labor, White Wealth. Mm-hmm. He's got the other book, Powernomics. Mm-hmm. But, he talks about, how we are stronger as an institution than we are separate. And, a lot of times I think that, because we were, broken apart and moved into different communities, and we don't have a huge presence together anymore like we used to, before they broke us apart. I mean, I think that that's one of the main reasons. It's not looked upon as a positive thing, or wasn't looked upon as a positive thing, to stay in your own communities and build wealth. People were looking to go to communities that didn't look like them, and, because it's something that was never allowed, but now that, we're in search of unity again, due to things like, now you see through technology and iPhones and people being able to record brutality, it's starting to draw us back together and make us look and say, hey, no, we do need to stick together. We don't have to move to other communities. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't a very, popular thing to just build from within.
Yes.
It was popular to show that I have accumulated my wealth and I'm moving on to bigger and better places. But that, in my eyes, that bigger and better place is a community that is built by us and that we control, and that we do our own policing, and I think that's that vision wasn't the American dream that was pitched to our communities, and that's why it wasn't popular. That's why it was kind of looked down upon for us to reinvest somewhere where nobody saw what we saw.
I think this whole kind of deal really started during integration, in that we fought really hard to integrate, and then kind of we ran away from our own businesses in that choice to try to run to be like those Joneses, those people up at the top who we thought were wealthy, that being the white establishment. And it's pretty, crazy how that mindset still persists in a way. I do love, like you were saying, how technology is really bringing, our people back to being able to both find, support, and come together in a like-minded way. So I'm excited to see what the future holds in that. But I mean, why do you think the persistence and this kind of Stockholm syndrome that we have as a people in catering to the white establishment has lasted so long, even with, all of the strides that we as a people have made in this country?
It's because that's what we were exposed to. We were exposed, through media and just propaganda that white is better. and it's pretty on the other side. And so that's why we do what we do. Is like we want to expose our youth to, what it looks like to own something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Trust me. Yes. I mean.
We just spoke to a group of kids, I think from Cambridge High School.
Oh, yeah.
Not too long ago, and they were going to the state championship tournament. And we could have talked to them, ramp them up, hey, go out there and ball out, do your thing. But our conversation was really more so about, hey, once that clock hits 0, then what? Right? Our communities are, it's no secret that, we bred great basketball, football, just athletes in general. And that, we also, are great at music and, and setting trends.
All of them.
But if we don't own the trends, then how do we benefit as a whole and as, ultimately as a community? So, I think that the more that you start to see young blacks, getting more into entrepreneurship, focusing more on, buying land, and learning how to develop the land that we purchase.
Instead of buying property from others.
Yeah, the deeper that we dive into tech and own, the technology that's controlling the world.
The sooner we put black people in those rooms,
absolutely,
creating algorithms that are just rather than still dependent on the same systems, the better control.
And our communities just weren't exposed to it.
No, on purpose.
For example, it's crazy to me. I was talking to an older black man in Chattanooga one time, and he was telling me, he was like, man, he was like, pizza was never really a part of our communities. He's like, I didn't eat pizza until I was 21 years old.
Wow.
And it blew my mind because I was like, what do you mean you didn't eat pizza?
Yeah.
It's like, now that I think about it, I was like, man, when we used to go to Granny's house back in the day,
wasn't no pizza.
She was never just asking us, do we want to order a pizza?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
She be cooking green cornbread and the food that, black culture in America has been eating forever,
Yeah, I mean, it was an Italian food, and it just wasn't something that you in a black neighborhood like, hey, let's walk down the corner and get a slice.
Yeah. Like New Yorkers have a different perspective, but like down south, especially.
Yeah. So the same way we are exposing, the black community to what it's like to have a black-owned pizzeria in your neighborhood and the benefits of, having affordable, food that you can feed your family and keep them fulfilled, while also, having, community-based conversations, events, et cetera, at Slimmer Huskies. Like, we're also exposing those same youth to the importance of making sure that you use ownership to control your narrative, control the type of things that happen within your community, and just to build wealth in general. And the more of us that, like myself and you and people that are owning their businesses and showing the youth how to do that, the more that, we're the stronger, bigger bridge we're building to get them to the other side, so that that white is better mentality can be removed from our minds, and we start to just focus on who we are and understand our power.
I mean, I completely agree with that. I have been doing some stuff with students as well recently, and I was just out at Cane Ridge doing a program with the high schoolers in there to make art. I came to them as a mural artist and just brought to them the concept of being successful in a creative way. And some of the kids, the teacher would tell me some of the kids used to kind of be very not caring about their class, very nonchalant on their phone, not paying attention. And when I came in and gave them the opportunity to create on a giant wall in the school and do this mural, they got so engaged. It was a really awesome feat to see how they ended up participating and how much kids really do crave personable, one-on-one and interactive ways to be educated. And I mean, I know you got a baby girl. I got a little boy. He about to start kindergarten, and the schools and the education is just. My daughter just graduated from high school, and honey, I am a little bit kind of scared about where education is going with these new bills and stuff that this government is passing that's supposed to help education, but I see a lot of things that don't look like they're going to actually help those our young people specifically. I mean, what do you feel about the state of education here in Tennessee and in general in America?
I mean, I think the state of education is what it's always been, to be honest with you. I think it's you hear about them, moving critical race theory from schools, but I mean, at the end of the day, has the race, the history of race in America ever properly been taught in schools?
No.
You're right. I remember, our textbooks as late as like high school, Christopher Columbus was a shining star. Mm-hmm. They didn't even cover X. Mm-mm. You know what I'm saying?
No.
They didn't talk about Garvey, and they definitely wasn't talking about the Black Panther Party.
Oh, no.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I mean, if they're not going to teach it correctly in school anyway, then shit, who gives a shit? Like, it's on our own communities to, in our own households to educate what they want to cover up. Mm-hmm. And so, for me, for one, is something that, the schools that I decide to send my daughter to, I hope that they're, going to teach it the right way, but even if they don't, she gonna get the truth at home.
Absolutely.
And that's one thing me and her, mother committed to. I think that that's something that the amount of information that's at our fingertips now
so much
is greater than what it was when our parents were raising us.
Mm-hmm.
I don't blame our parents for not covering certain things in the household because it was hid from them.
Yeah.
But it's on us to just keep it funky with our kids. And, you never know how the next set of textbooks are going to look because, you got a whole nother,
state.
Like, when we were coming up, you had the Rodney King, meeting, but now it's like, now you got George Floyd and, all these other examples that have shaped America and how we're moving forward. So, even if they don't tell those stories the right way, you can hop on Google right now and learn whatever it is you're looking for. But I mean, we like to go to our local bookstores and really get down in depth and so that we have a true understanding of what we should be teaching our kids.
And to that point, local bookstores like Al Kubalan down the street. My brother Yusef just passed, and he spent so much of his life trying to do just that and give Black people here the ability to learn about themselves, where they came from, the histories that have been stolen from us. And there are other people in the community as well as the same place, who are still out here trying to teach that to us. And it takes, like you said, nothing but a Google search to start finding out truths. And, I really am big on trying to share those messages whenever I can. I mean, talking to anybody, I'll start a conversation about something. They'll be like, oh, Alicia, here she go again. Look, I'm just trying to school y'all. So y'all can be ready when it's time to work. Because we're going to have to do the work to bring ourselves exactly what we want, which is that real, true freedom, and not the facade that we've been given. Yeah. So, yeah, books are amazing. Like, what other books are you kind of working on right now, reading now?
Well, I kind of switched it up. I've been reading on the business side of things, I've been reading The Tanning of America, which kind of touches, a lot on the culture also. But Steve Stout,
Okay.
The marketing, somewhat of a marketing genius, behind a lot of, hip hop culture in America. He wrote The Tanning of America, and he's talking about how, black culture, hip hop culture basically, controls the marketing within America, and how that started. As simple as, Run DMC, wore their Adidas, what I'm saying,
Yeah.
Madison Square Garden, and it changed, what I'm saying,
Changed it all.
changed it all. So like, but I'm kind of getting off into that right now. And
Okay.
just trying to see, it's like Slimmer Huskies is, I tell people all the time, like we're evolving into much more than a pizza company. We've done a great job establishing ourselves with a good product, but now honestly it's more about using our influence to become a household brand and not just a pizza. Pizza is it's our connection point, it's our vehicle, it's how we, it's how we reach you in the first place.
Right.
But then we want to introduce you to some of the things that we love and has, basically defined who the brand is. So, pizza, art, music, fashion, community. That's our brand. And so, you've seen us do the art shows, and we work with you guys. We're getting ready, hopefully ramping up for the Queen Bee show. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, October, baby, solo show. Wait, y'all don't know, okay? See, y'all just know tattoos. Y'all don't know the artiste, okay? Y'all just wait. It's gonna go down. For real.
And so, and then like with the music, we made a commitment to work with independent artists, and started the Slimmer Huskies Unplugged series that we host now at the National Museum of African American Music, and bringing independent talent in the Nashville area, from hip hop to R&B to alternative, and it's black music. You know what I'm saying? It's showing what Music City really is, not just Country Music USA. It's Music City. Is started with the Fifth Jubilee Singers.
Absolutely.
And has evolved into a place where black musicians have always been able to come and develop. And so we want to highlight that part of Nashville through Slimmer Huskies Unplugged. And then on the fashion tip, we've been taking some time to develop our brand. The Pizza Rules Everything Around Me, Preem, has always been our brand. We just recently reduced that down to PRM, and that's our brand that we're about to release. And but we also like to work with other black fashion designers, and companies like Wisdom down in Atlanta. We're actually collabing with them tonight on an event.
Okay.
Down in ATL. Jesus Was Black.
Oh yeah, it's my boy.
Malcolm Voltaire.
Malcolm.
You know what I'm saying? Working with him. Companies like Trenches. He's across from Slimmer Huskies. And we just, like I said earlier, like we start every single trend in the world.
Dude, it's so crazy. I be looking at K-pop stuff. I be looking at J-pop stuff, Asian, Indian. Every culture is hip hop crazy. Is black culture crazy?
So
and
like we just gotta own it.
That's it.
And we gotta show our youth how to own it. So like that's kind of where we are right now.